Today is July 1st, 2018, and like the beginning of every month, we go through the midterm elections. So today we're going to look at the 2018 governor elections and how they have been altered pretty much throughout the entire 2018 election season. We're going to lead up into the 2018 midterms with these predictions finishing off in November, but looking at the map, not much is going to change. A couple of these race indications by a number of political pundits are going to change for this prediction, but I left the map off with a number of these states because we don't really need to cover a number of these safe states. We already know that they're going to go for a certain political party, but for the rest of the states, the hotly contested ones, we need to focus on those a lot. So we have 26 Republicans, 18 Democrats. That's probably going to change. When we look at a state like Maryland, I'm going to put this one in the toss-up column for now because I don't want to fill it in. Wisconsin as well, I'm going to put that one in the toss-up column. You know what? The rest are probably fine. I'm just going to alter a couple race ratings. So Texas, I see this one as likely Republican just based off the whole new immigration thing, which is going to be a top issue that's going to get out Hispanic voters. But I still think the incumbent, Greg Abbott, is going to pretty handedly win there. Charlie Baker up in Massachusetts probably isn't going to have the most handed re-election. I see the opinion polls that show him ahead by 35%. There are still some undecided voters, and also the Democrats aren't going to focus here, but they also have a candidate who could possibly run up the numbers. In a firm opposition to the president year, I understand that Charlie Baker is extremely popular, but I've seen it in my state of Maryland, and if Massachusetts has a sort of drawback that I'm having in my state, that I'm experiencing across the state. I mean, Maryland used to be safe, then likely, then leaning Republican, and now I'm going to call it a toss-up state because of our new candidates. If that occurs in Massachusetts, we could see it wouldn't become competitive, but I see it becoming not as safe for Charlie Baker. Right now, I'm going to leave that one as likely in this column. In the future, if more opinion polling data comes out suggesting the same exact result as what we're seeing now, I'll put that one back in the safe column, but for right now, I'm leaving that one as likely red. But Maryland, that one I've always characterized as red, but right now I see Ben Jealous, the progressive nominee, as winning. And right now, Larry Hogan is pretty popular. He's the second most popular governor in the United States, but his opinion polling data isn't showing that. He's only winning 51% to the other Democratic nominees, which don't account. The Democratic nominees aren't at 49%, but there are still a number of undecided voters. But undecided voters typically lean Democratic in the state of Maryland. I mean, it is Maryland. I'm on my governor's campaign, so it really says a lot when I see a Democratic victory in my state. But right now, I could see Maryland narrowly going to the Democratic Party only because of the firm opposition to the president. We are extremely close. We have a number of events that occur almost weekly against the president, and Maryland has just been turning more and more Democratic. Hillary Clinton won in a number of counties that Barack Obama didn't carry back in 2012 in the state of Maryland in 2016, and President Trump's approval rating is around 30% here, which is around the number Republicans get in the state of Maryland. So this one's a pure toss-up, but right now I see the Democrats narrowly winning here, especially with more funds coming in from progressive-type candidates and a push for a more new-type reformed Democratic Party. Going down to the state of Ohio, I see this one as narrowly leaning in the Democratic column, and my only reasoning for that is opinion polling data. Right now, John Kasich is going to leave office, but the Democrat is also doing pretty well for someone who's in a race where there's an extremely popular Republican incumbent who's now leaving office. So Ohio, I previously had characterized as red, but with the whole new thing with Justice Kennedy and a whole number of other factors, Ohio and a number of these other governorships are going to become more Democratic, just based off the fact that the Supreme Court won't be as likely to uphold decisions held by the state if they are against a Democratic incumbent, which will inspire Democrats to come out and vote. Ohio, Obama states in 2008, 2012, and then Trump state in 2016, midterm election toss-up state. So it's pretty usual, but in a Democratic wave year, I could see this one narrowly going to the Democrats. And along with the state of Florida, I see this one as narrowly going to the Democrats as well, but very narrowly. I really don't see a blowout for either political candidate, but right now I see narrowly landing in the Democratic column. In the state of Connecticut, that one I also see narrowly in the Democratic column, only because the incumbent isn't doing too much damage now. Before, he was on track to just obliterate the Democratic Party in here, except for presidential election years. Now we're going to start to see a little bit of a drawback, which could help the Democrats in the state. But again, with local and state issues, a number of these things are going to be helpful for the GOP because they are amazing at that. But Connecticut, I see narrowly going to the Democrats. Over in Alaska, that one, if the Democrat wins the nomination, I see him winning. But right now, I see Alaska narrowly staying as a Republican state. flipping from the independent column to the Republicans. So this puts them at 25 seats. They only need one more to essentially hold a majority in the NGA. So 22 Democrats, 25 Republicans. Nevada, I see that one as narrowly going into the Democratic column. The Democrat is leading in opinion polls. It's a Democratic state from 2016. Latino turnout in the state of Nevada. I see that as going to the Democrats. Wisconsin, I still see Scott Walker narrowly carrying it, but I wanted to make a note of it because Wisconsin could go either way. He's on his third term, but also there could be a new Democratic push in the Rust Belt because, again, Tammy Baldwin's going to do amazing here in the Senate race, and Scott Walker's not going to do as good. So that's something that's also going to be talked about a lot. But if Tammy Baldwin could help push over a Democratic candidate over the top, then that would be something that would be beneficial to the Democrats. So 26 Republicans, 23 Democrats. The final state to call is the state of Michigan. And with everything happening against the Republican incumbent, I could see Michigan narrowly landing in the Democratic column. I'm finishing off our map at 24 Democrats and 26 Republicans, a little bit more blue over here. You know, the Northeast, not so much. But again, as I mentioned in my Senate video, the areas with similar ideals are pretty much all the same color when it comes to governor election predictions. Up across the United States, red, and then Colorado, New Mexico, Nevada. I mean, this entire area, except for Montana. This is a 2016 map. And then over here, we see it in the Northeast, except for a couple states. Actually, we don't see it in the Northeast, but I mean in the North, we see it except for a couple states. And then a number of other swing states. So final map, 24 Democrats, 26 Republicans. Thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I'll see you all tomorrow.